Good evening, everyone, and welcome to Sports for Supper here at Sammy's Restaurant. And another week here at Sports for Supper. A Panther victory last week against Eagle Pass. And we're also going to have the tennis team on here later on as well. I'm Jared Lucky along with Maury Stein and Jeff Stivers. And we are going to jump straight into the football segment of our show. And we are joined by Coach Martinez. Coach, thanks for being here this evening.
It's awesome being here.
And if you'll tell us what you coach and what your role is on the coaching staff.
I'm the defensive coordinator. I coach the linebackers.
Okay. And so this is your first year at Medina Valley?
Yes, first year here.
Where were you at before here?
I was the assistant head coach and defensive coordinator at Bandera High School for the last 3 years. I've been coaching a total of 28 years prior to that. So
wow.
Yeah.
Okay.
Where'd you get your start at?
I started back home where I'm from, which is Crystal City. I spent 7 years there. Then I went to Laredo for 7. Got my first head coaching job there. There was no 6A at that time; it was 5A. So I was a head football coach for Laredo Figueroa. Then I've been the head coach at Memorial High School in San Antonio and at Dilly High School. And from there, I went to Bandera, and then now here.
And so you've got a pretty young defense this year from what we've talked to some of the players here. I know your secondary is real young. Tell us about being able to coach some younger players and being able to get them to, in the next few years, you're going to have a lot of experience on your defense. How nice is that to have?
Well, it's definitely nice. Obviously, the future is going to be bright for sure, as I think we have 8 starters coming back on defense next year. It didn't start off that way, but at first it's been a struggle because teaching them a new system with having no off season with the kids. I came here in July, and then we had the sudden change, of course, and I went from being the linebackers coach to defensive coordinator, getting the kids to run my system versus what they've been running before. It's taken a while, be honest with you, but the kids are buying in, and they're doing much better. They're seeing things much better now. They're coming along, but again, the future's really bright. Like I said, we're going to have 8 of them back next year.
Can you tell us what the biggest change for them was coming into your system?
Every system is good if you obviously you rep it, work it, believe in it. Our biggest difference was that guys were told to look at certain keys that were last year. This year is completely different. We don't look in the backfield. Our guys, our linebackers we read linemen. And so the biggest thing is having them adjust where their eyes are, and that's hard because if you see on film, you're like, hey, you just had a guard pull to the right and you're going to the left, you're going the wrong way, you're not keying your reads, and that's the biggest thing is getting their eyes right, and that's taken weeks, but they're getting better at it for sure. But it was a struggle at first, but they've definitely improved a lot from day one to now.
And you've got Laredo Nixon this week. Tell us a little bit about their offense. What do they do? What's going to be the biggest threat to your defense this week?
Well, they're a spread team, so they're pretty balanced. They throw it 50, more or less 50-50. Their quarterback is probably their best athlete on offense. He does well. You can tell that their offensive line is not one of the better ones we've faced all year, as we know they're going to run the ball to our right. They have a guard that's when I say big, I mean he's probably close to 400 pounds. So they can't pull him. So we know when they run GT, it's going to be towards him. So that's a key. We're going to have that stuff like that. So we have certain keys. So we more or less know where they're going to run it. We have some schemes that we've brought up to this game as far as the passing game, things that we have not shown on film that we hope will confuse them and cause some turnovers for us. But they're pretty balanced. They got a good receiver. I forgot his name, but he's number 7 is their go-to guy. We need to contain him, and I think we're going to be fine. Obviously, we're down 1 guy in the secondary this week, but I think with the kids we have, the reps have gotten, I think we're prepared for what we're going to see Friday night.
So 50 as far as running pass. What do they do better? Do they run better, or do they pass better?
Well, I guess
or is it a mix and it just
what they do is they'll line up pre-snap and they'll get into formation. Coach calls a play for them, and then they'll have what we call check with me, where they'll all get up and look at the sideline, and their coach will look at what we're lined up in, and then he'll shift them. He'll change the formation. For example, if we have a lot of guys in the box, then he's going to throw the ball. So he'll shift the formation to get receivers open, or vice versa. If we have too many guys spread out, he's going to want to run the ball. So he kind of basically calling plays based on your alignment, so we're going to combat that by moving our guys around when he moves his guys around. So hopefully we might get some delay of games on him tomorrow or on Friday, But it's more that's how their game is predicated on. He's going to call a run or pass depending on how many guys you got in the box, and he moves his players around like almost every play.
One of the things I've seen this year that we haven't seen from some of the Panther teams in the past on defense is that your corners and your secondary, they actually look for the ball a lot now. Like when it's in the air, you know what I mean? They turn and look for it, and that's not something that we saw a lot in the last few years. Do you stress that a lot to them to turn around and see where the ball's at?
Well, we ask them. We call it staying in phase, which is running with him. Once, obviously, when the receiver's eyes get big or he's trying to turn around, that's when we'll turn around and look for the ball as well. But we preach run with the receiver. Don't get caught looking in the back because he blows by you. Just run with the guy. Again, it's something that they probably did not do last year, but we're obviously something we're emphasizing now. But we got some good kids. They work hard. Like I said, I wish all our seniors were juniors. We'd have another year with them, but they're working. They're really trying to get it right, and finish out this second half of the district season in a positive note.
Well, that's one thing we've noticed also, Coach, is the substitutions on the defensive side of the ball. You're getting more kids involved, more young men involved every week. You got, sometimes there's a new defensive line coming in and the other ones haven't been in there that long. How much does that attribute to their work in the weight room and their work in conditioning to where you got 6 guys that are ready to go all the time?
Well, it's kind of like looking at.
It don't seem like there's a let off between
right.
when you switch them out.
Well, that's the whole point. You preach to them, hey, if you're going to be in, then there can't be that big of a drop off, right? So our biggest thing as coaches is we're like, hey, we're not doing a good job of rotating our guys in the first couple of games. We lost games in the fourth quarter because we got tired, and we were like, hey, we need to do a better job of getting our guys rotating in and out. So to me, my philosophy has always been, hey, we're going to play as many kids we can the first half, get guys get in and out, and when the money's on the table, we say in the fourth quarter, then whoever played the better games will be out there to close the door, if you will. But we definitely, as coaches, have obviously. Sometimes we have to do a better job. We're into the games, like we got to make sure that our rotations are done. So number one, all the kids get out there because hey, if you've been out there practicing, you should know what the game plan is. You should be prepared. We do a good job in practice of getting in those game reps, and we mix starters with the backups at practice. So it's not just obviously clear you got with your first string, but we mix our guys in to make sure they learn to play with each other because that's what we're trying to do a better job of, not only at the D line but also the linebacker. We can't do quite as much secondary because we don't have that many guys back there, but we have enough guys at the linebacker position and D line where we can get fresh legs out there. And
that's what we kind of talked to Coach Sanchez before. A couple of those games that were lost in the fourth quarter because the defense was on the field quite a bit and we just run out of gas. Now you have an influx of new players coming in and there's not that big of a difference towards the end of the game because you've learned that the young men that came in have learned to trust themselves, and y'all have learned to trust in those young men that they can do the job in the fourth quarter and have them fresh legs, fresh bodies out there.
That's the whole thing. We want to be the better conditioned team in the fourth quarter and win the game. You do that by getting your players to that position, and that's one way to do it is definitely rotating your guys and then make sure you do a good job of doing it. And they know, hey, we got an eye in the sky. That's one of the reasons I went upstairs. I haven't been upstairs in years.
You
but
were upstairs last week
the last 2 games, I believe, we went up, I think that might be 3 weeks now, 2 or 3 games. I went up there. Now I can see everything I need to see from out there, and that includes the rotation. I'll look and I'll say, hey, player X he looks like he's tired. We need to get a new defensive end in, get this going on. Or if they're not doing what their coaches do, I can see it much clearer from up there. Go, hey, we need to pull them out and talk to them and then correct this, correct that, and we tell the same before we pull them out. We tell the kid, hey, he's not doing this. Make sure you do that according to game plan, and we switch them out in and out. So we're coaching them up as they're coming off the field and as they're going on. I think we've done a much better job of that. But yeah, I definitely see everything a lot better from upstairs than down on the field. I haven't been up there in years, but so it's a move we had to make that gave me up there so I could see the entire field and make sure we had corrections.
Is that something you're going to stay up
Yeah,
there?
for this year, for sure. Like I said, I just see things better from up there. The whole, learning of the whole view as far as their scheme and what our guys are doing. I'm able to see basically the entire field, and I can see right away why a play worked or why, for them versus what we didn't do defensively. I couldn't really see that from the field. So I decided, I told Coach Sanchez that I said, hey, man, we need to make that move, and I think it's better off. We'll be better off if I go upstairs, I think.
So whose ear are you in?
I'm
on the sidelines.
I'm with Coach Sanchez. I'm telling him we communicate back and forth. Well, actually, I talked to the entire staff, but I'll tell them, hey, it's third down. This is what they like to do. As soon as they break the huddle, Coach Maxwell, who's up there with me, will immediately tell me, hey, they're going to be in. As soon as they break out by the personnel group they have, we know what formation they're in. So we tell them, hey, where they're probably going to run. This is what they like to run, GT, or they like to run sweep out of this. So we'll call our student according to their tendencies based on formations that we've studied on film. And we can get that information a lot faster with Coach Maxwell and myself up there work together and relaying that to Coach Sanchez so we can get the proper call we want to formations. It's just turned better communication overall. We have a better view of everything, I think, for this year.
Well, you pitched a shutout, the game
Down
in Martin.
Laredo, and gave up the second play of the game, and after that was into Eagle Pass. So the philosophy's working. I mean, with you up there, and and Jeff had mentioned it, and Jared mentioned the game before. Hey, Coach is up here for the first time up in the press box, so he can get an eye view of it. What inspired you to move up there?
I just couldn't see what we were doing wrong. There's too many. I said, you know what? I could see one side of the field, but I couldn't see the whole side of the field. So I said, well, if I go up there again, if I see from up there, if I see right away, I look at the key, right, where I'm keen on the formation. So if I see a puller, I'm right away looking at play side linebacker to see if he's blowing the hole, if our backside linebacker is going 45 degrees downhill. I can see that immediately, so I can know why the play worked for them. It's not really what they did, it's what we didn't do, to make sure our guys, specifically the box. I'm looking at the box. Coach Max was looking at the secondary, but I'm looking at the front seven and make sure that they're doing what they're supposed to do. For example, hey, a defensive end isn't squeezing down. One of the biggest buy-ins or hardest thing for our kids to buy into with my defense, what we've always run is, for example, we ask our defensive line to what we call squeezing down. So if their guy releases inside, we're going to get hands on him, squeeze him down the gap, and we squeeze down the gap. And then our linebackers play what we call cloudy to clear. If the gap is clear, the linebacker takes it. If it's cloudy, he works towards clear. And that's been the biggest buy-in issue. It's gotten a lot better. But what we were doing before and getting hurt was our defensive end was letting his guy go inside, and he wouldn't squeeze down, so he's outside, and then the puller hits him. And then the guy he let go inside is cutting off the linebacker, so there goes an 8-yard play. And I would tell our players, hey, I go, that 4th and 2 that they converted by half a yard, it's our fault because on first down we didn't squeeze down. When our linebacker got blocked, you got kicked out. So instead of it being 2nd down and 8, it was 2nd down and 6. So that's 2 yards they shouldn't have gotten. So by the time I got to 4th down, it would have been 4th and 4, 4th and 5. They punt the ball. I go, but these little things we're not doing on 1st and 2nd down are giving them a 4th and 1 look, and we're coming up half a yard short every time, and then they go on and score. So that was been the biggest buying issue, is our guys buying into doing that, and it's not just here, it's everywhere I've gone. You got to get these guys to buy in. We tell them, hey, we're asking you to squeeze down. And now the new rules took away what we used to do before, is we would squeeze down. So we know if he goes inside, we're going to squeeze down, and we're expecting a puller. We would take our outside shoulder and cut his inside knee. Well, we can't do that anymore. We can't do that anymore. So now we're going high on him. But that was also a big, I'm going to sacrifice myself. Where do I get mine is this philosophy of the D-line. And eventually we tell them, hey, when we blitz you, we're not asking you to do that. It's take the gap you're taking. That's when you get yours. But when we're playing base, you have to squeeze down because it's 11 pieces of the puzzle. We all got to fit together. And when one puzzle's out of whack, it creates a hole, and they will find it. I go, the ball will always find it. And that's been the biggest buy-in issue. But now we've gotten better at it. When we do it right, we look really good. And when we do it wrong, it's on film. I go, hey, the eye in the sky doesn't lie. And, kids are understanding it. They're understanding what we're expecting of them. Like this week, I expect our defensive ends to make a lot of plays, because this week we're not asking them to squeeze down. When their guys are pulling, we're going to first time turn them loose, and we're pulling with the puller down the line. We expect our defensive ends to run it down from behind. And so expect to see a lot of that Friday night. We expect our defensive ends to have a big game Friday night against the run. Against the run. Yeah, for sure. We expect our defensive ends to have a really good day Friday night.
One of the last questions is going back to the quarterback for Laredo Nixon. You said he might be probably the best athlete. Is he very mobile? Can he run the ball? Will he pull it down and run?
He will, but he doesn't like contact. He slides a lot. He got hurt early on, so he didn't play the first couple of games, I believe. So he's still actually the running backs, like any other running back, they're good when it's a big hole. But when there's traffic involved, he's kind of jumpy around. He doesn't hit the hole hard. So we feel we can keep him in check. One of the things, so this is the first quarterback that we faced in a while that, like for example, the John Jay quarterback, the Southwest Legacy quarterback, along with even the Martin quarterback, we knew they were runners. So we had to assign two guys to them backside. We had pullers. Our defensive end had to squeeze and sit. Our outside linebacker would check, both of them would check. He didn't have the ball before they take off. Well, we don't feel the quarterback Friday night is that threat. So which is why we're releasing our defensive ends to get down the line. We feel our linebackers can take care of that quarterback. We don't feel he's a threat running the ball. He might get some yards on a scramble, but as far as him getting back there, he's not a runner. He's a pocket thrower. He's going to be in the pocket looking to throw the ball and deliver the ball. I don't feel he's a very accurate thrower, to be honest with you. I think he throws it up for grabs and hoping this guy will come down with it. Our plan is basically get up there and put pressure on him and make him very uncomfortable. And we're always going to stop the run first, obviously. So we know where it's going. So hopefully we're going to do some things Friday night that we haven't done, which like we're going to stem, move our defensive line around prior to the snap. Hopefully we'll cause some false starts on them. So we're hoping to do some things soon to make them uncomfortable Friday night, to get some yardage for us, put them deep behind this chains on 1st and 15 or at 5 yards, now 2nd and 12, whatever it may be. I think we got a real solid game plan as far as what they do and what we're going to do against it. I feel real strong. I feel we're going to be able to contain them pretty well Friday night. But, kids, we got to go out there. We got to execute, right? We don't play the game on the chalkboard. We got to go out there in the grass and have our kids play some football.
Well, Coach, thanks for joining us. We appreciate it. Good luck on Friday night. And hopefully we'll see you here later on in the year.
No problem.
We're
Appreciate
going
it.
to take a break real quick, and then we'll come back with the players that Coach brought with him. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue here in just a moment.
Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, two legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery, online at havysbakery.com.
Texas, 268,000 square miles and then some. Twice as much elbow room as California. There's just no place like Texas. And you can take that to the bank. Texan Bank, poised and ready for a future that's wide open. Member FDIC.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Welcome back here to Sammy's Restaurant. We're back with Sports for Supper, as we just had the defensive coordinator, Coach Martinez, on. And I think you brought you're both defensive players, right? You're on offense. Okay. So we're going to start with the defensive player that he brought, and if you'll tell us name, number, position, all that kind of good stuff.
My name is Caden Keller. I'm number 34, and I am a linebacker.
And are you a senior this year?
Yes, sir, I am a senior.
And so tell us about, you got Laredo Nixon this week. Tell us a little bit about what you're going to see for them, what you're looking for defensively when they come to the line.
I'm looking for a lot of trips. There's going to be a lot of trips. They like to throw a lot for twins. They mainly throw the ball more than run, so I'm looking more for that because I mean, that's just mainly what they do. And our past few games have been a lot of run more than throwing. And I mean, that's pretty much it there.
What do you like defending better, the pass or the run?
I think run is more fun because you actually get to hit somebody more than when they throw.
And so when you're in pass, do you drop back into coverage more, or do you actually get to blitz some from your linebacker spot?
It depends. If they're running trips over and I'm to the strong side, I will be rushing more than dropping back.
That's more fun, right?
Yeah, definitely.
He was the player of the week last week at Eagle Pass. He kind of set the tone the first couple of possessions. The stats said he only got credited for 2 tackles, but I think he had about 6 or 7 in those first couple series. And Ken, you kind of set the tone for the whole defense, just the way you came up and because your defensive line has been doing a great job, and that frees you guys up at the linebacker's position. You came up and you filled the hole, had 2 tackles for losses right off the bat, and that kind of set the tone. What were you keying on those plays? What were the defensive linemen doing that enabled you to do what you were supposed to do?
They definitely picked up their block, so it gave me a big hole on the right side, and it was right between the center and the guard, and it was at least a 5-foot hole, so it was easy for me to get through there into the backfield. And they have really been doing a good job picking up their block.
So what is the difference going to be between the Raider team and the Eagle Pass team as far as the size of their offensive line? Is it the same, or do they have a bigger offensive line, faster, slower?
I think they're close to about the same speed. They do have one bigger offensive lineman, but other than that, I think they're pretty close to the same.
Yeah, 'cause I think Coach was saying he's pushing about 4 bills. Huh? That big boy.
But he also said it's a telltale sign of
Where they're gonna
which
run
way
the
they're
football,
going to.
yeah.
So are you going to be on the strong side or the weak side as far as where their big lineman is?
I'm going to be away from the big lineman.
So, and you stay on one side, right? You don't flip-flop based on the formation, or do you?
I do. Me and Santos flip back and forth depending on the strength.
Being one of the, he talked about you're going to have 8 guys back next year, so you're one of the older players on the defense. Tell us a little bit about the leadership role that you've had to take doing that.
It definitely is a big role to take. It takes a lot, but it's definitely fun to take the leadership role of that and control these guys. It's definitely fun.
And are you calling out the plays from your spot, or is that a different linebacker?
Santos mainly repeats it for whatever was said from the sideline, and yeah, he mainly repeats it. I don't.
So being one of the leaders, going back to last year, who was one of the players that you looked up to that you can say, okay, I'd like to pattern my game around this young man or that young man and be as physical as he is?
I looked up to Seth Bullard a lot. He was definitely one of the guys that, I love to play. I would love to play like him. It was really fun to play with him last year. We had a bunch of fun freaking tackling those guys. It was nice. I look up to him a lot.
So what can you take from his game that you try to emulate in your own?
He was very fast and quick on seeing the formation. He knew where the ball was going to be like 90% of the time, and he got there really fast. So that's what I like to want to do, and hopefully I can do that in this game.
You've been doing a great job. Absolutely.
So we know, it was a slow start to the season, but it's progressively, each game, progressively pretty much gotten better and better. And now you're right there with it. You're 3-2 in district now. Tell us a little bit about the mentality in the locker room, like how, progressing from the beginning of the year to now, and it seems like it stayed really positive with you guys.
Yes, we have a bunch of other leaders in the locker room that we really control the guys that are younger than us, and we started keeping us together more. Last year was a little bit sided, and this year we've really changed it, and I think that we're going in a good way.
More cohesive.
Yes.
Yeah, and do you do other sports other than football?
Yes, sir. I play baseball also.
Baseball also. And what position do you play there?
I play catcher mainly.
Cool. And anything else, Mario? Well, thanks for joining us
Any
this evening.
aspects after high school? You gonna go to school somewhere? You got anything you're looking at, or
Not necessarily as of right now.
Oh, prediction.
oh
He's
yeah,
going to make one.
couple of tackles for losses prediction in your
Forced
game?
fumble.
Forced
Recover
fumble.
fumble.
I'm definitely gonna try to force a fumble again and get a bunch of more tackle for losses.
Good.
All right, and well, thanks for joining us, and maybe we'll see you farther on down the road here, and we'll move on to the next young man that's with us here this evening. If you'll tell us your name, position, all that kind of good stuff.
My name is Kyle Stuman. I'm number 85, and I play fullback. Yeah.
Okay, so tell us a little bit about your position on the field there. Like, what are you looking for? And you're more blocking.
Yes,
correct? So, who are you looking to block more? I guess I know it depends on the play,
Yeah.
but are you more linebacker? Where?
It's probably split like 80% linebacker, 20% D lineman.
Okay.
You're listed as a tight end, I think.
Oh, yes, sir.
Program, but you very seldom get to go out for a pass. You're usually lined up in that halfback position right off over the tackle or guard, correct?
Yes, sir.
So what is your key that you're looking at on a run play as far as what the linemen are doing in front of you? Who are you going after to block?
It's mostly the outside backer. If he's walked down, it's just in the simple go out there and get him. But most of the time, I'll probably be running out of the backfield behind all the linemen to go out there and go get him.
Do you ever pull and lead a running play?
I can, yes, sir. I've done it. There's a couple plays where I go out there and I pull behind
What
him.
is your favorite play?
Probably that play where I pull behind him because it's fun running behind those big boys.
And what is that play called?
Diesel.
So who are you? Is that when Reza goes in motion, or is that when Guerrero or Pierce get the ball straight off the handoff?
We can do it to where we send him in motion. We showed a little bit of an eagle pass where we send the slot receiver out in motion, and then we'll run that play the other way we've shown. But it's like the running back counters. They'll counter step to it, and they'll just follow us up the middle.
Do you ever go in motion and switch from one side to the other?
No, sir. Lineups where I have to stay.
Do you ever stay into pass block?
Yes, sir. If we're running quick game or deeper throws down the field, I'll stay in.
Do you ever run routes?
Yes, sir. There's one or two plays where I'll go out there. And
What is your favorite play to run on the offensive side? Where are you going to get a good shot at the linebacker?
Probably ISO. That's probably the most basic shot I can get at linebacker. It's just straight run, straight up the field, and go hit him as hard as I can.
You get off of him and go to the third level?
Mostly try to pancake him, get him on the ground where he can't get back up. But if he falls down, I'll go to third level safety.
That's funny because that's a play. Like when we had the linemen here, they said the same thing. Like,
Yeah.
they like the ISO play.
Yeah.
That's always their favorite. Every
Yeah.
time we ask them that, that's what they all say. That's our favorite play.
Yeah.
Do you do other sports?
Yes, sir. I run track too.
What do you do in track?
The 100 and the 200.
Okay.
Relay or on your own?
I know last year, junior, I did just straight open events just by myself. But sophomore year and freshman year, I ran a lot of relays.
What was your best time?
I ran an 11.7 on my last year, the junior.
What is your goal this year?
Try to get it down to at least an 11.2, just to show some speed off.
So what is your prediction for this week?
For the team or for myself?
Both.
Both. Well, it's homecoming this week, so obviously we want to go out and go get a big win in front of all the fans, and it's going to be a packed game. Myself, I just want to do my job and set my team up to win.
How many pancakes?
As much as I can get.
There you go. I love it. But is there ever a chance where you're going to maybe catch a touchdown pass?
There can be.
There you go. Are you going to predict one of those?
If it happens, I'll predict it.
Well, I like that. Hey, there you go.
So we didn't ask y'all about that, but yeah, it is homecoming. And do y'all get a little more hyped up for that, or is it just another game to you?
Yeah, obviously we can get a little hyped up because everyone, like a lot of people, are going to be there more than normal. But we also try to go into looking at it as another game. We have to go out there and do our jobs like we would every other game.
Okay. Okay, now that it's homecoming, I'm going to ask you for another prediction. King and the Queen. Just who you think.
Who I think?
Not who you voted for, whatever.
I try not to vote because I have 2 friends running, and I don't want to, like, make the other one that. But I think Ruben Reyes, he's the starting tight end. He's won sophomore year, freshman year. He didn't run. He didn't win last year because he didn't run. But I feel like he's going to win on the boys' side. Girls' side, I have no idea who's going to win.
Who were the young ladies that are in the running?
Peyton Trowbridge, Shelby Center, Sarah Daly.
Yeah, we had her on here.
Who else? I don't know.
Are there 5?
There's 5 of them. I'm trying to think of the other 2. Amy Johnson's another one, and I don't know the other one. I'm trying to think. I don't know.
Guys, thank y'all for being here. We
Thank you.
appreciate y'all joining us. Good luck this week. And good luck in the rest of the season.
Sure.
Hopefully we see y'all again back here, maybe in playoff time or something like that.
Absolutely.
But we're going to take a break, and then we're going to come back with the tennis coach is going to be here. And you're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue here in just a moment.
Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tandre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tandre Gwynn Funeral Home to view funeral notices.
Bush's Chicken, one of the oldest locations in Castroville, is proud to serve the Medina Valley area. Bush's Chicken has one goal: be the best. Bush's Chicken knows its success comes from loyal customers in the communities they serve. Stop by Bush's Chicken on Tuesday and get the Tender Tuesday deal, or try their buffalo fries and ask about their Panther special. It's always a hit. Bush's Chicken, 935 Highway 90 East in Castroville. Call them at 830-538-2800.
Double T Outfitters offers deer, dove, turkey, quail, and exotic hunts in Southwest Texas on over 20,000 low-fenced acres. They facilitate professional guide services, lodging, and fantastic meals while providing the best in Southwest hunting. Contact Double T Outfitters to find out details about their current package hunts. Contact owner Brett Ferguson at 210-413-1597 or online at DoubleTHunting.com. Sammy's Restaurant offers Alsatian Bakery, 2 legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique and fantastic meals while providing the best in Southwest hunting. Contact Sammy's Alsatian Bakery, a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Hades Alsatian Bakery, online at hadesbakery.com.
Welcome back to Sports for Supper, and we are joined by Coach Webb from the tennis program. And Coach, thanks for being here this evening. We appreciate you joining us. And if you'll tell us a little bit, I know y'all just won the district championship for the fall part of y'all season. If you'll tell us a little bit about the program this year, some of your, players, and what's next for you guys.
Okay, so we just wrapped up our regular season of district play for team tennis, which is the fall format for tennis. Team tennis, you have to have a minimum of 6 boys and 6 girls on a team in order to qualify. We have 20-something total, so we're more than we need. You play 3 girls doubles matches, 3 boys doubles matches, a mixed doubles where you have 1 young lady, 1 young man on a team, and then 6 boys singles matches, 6 girls singles matches. And so there's 19 matches total in a duel. It's a dual format, so you're just playing one other school during a given match. And to win the duel, then you have to, once you reach 10 matches, you are declared the winner. As 19, you have over half the matches won. So our team this fall, they did fantastic, and we are 6-0 in our district, which is the 28-5A. And what's most impressive to me is not only did they win 6-0, and we went 6-0 last year. It was the first time the school had ever won team tennis champion. Now we're 2 years in a row. But what was really impressive is that individually, for the matches that were played during the district season, 70 matches were won, only 10 where they dropped a match or lost a match, which that is better than we did last year.
Right.
So that's very exciting. So our next step will be to play a bi-district match next Tuesday, October 11th. We will find out, confirm tomorrow who we're going to play. We're anticipating maybe Highlands High School, but we'll see, and we'll play at McFarland in San Antonio.
And how do playoffs work with this? Is it a bracket structure like everything else? Like you get put in a bracket and then you just move on from school to school?
Yeah, sorta.
Okay.
It is like it is. That is the structure. So you have by district first. So we play District 27, and I think at the top of that district this year was probably Alamo Heights. I know MacArthur's in it, and some SAISD schools. And then, so the number 1 from our district plays the number 4 from their district, and 2 will play 3. So yes, it's like every other sport, right? Okay. And then if you advance past by district, you play area, and that will bring in, I don't even know who. I don't worry about it till someone tells me that's who I'm playing. But usually it's teams out of the hill country.
Okay.
Austin, I'm thinking Lockhart and Liberty Hill and those areas. Bernie, last year we got the joy of playing Bernie champion in area. They're very good. After that, then there is a semi-regional. I don't know if it's called a sectional, and then it would go to regionals and then to state in advance. And so
and all of those are 19.
Same format.
Yeah.
Same
format.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Yep. So you'll you typically put on all your doubles teams first. So there's 7 doubles matches that are on court simultaneously. They finish after doubles, and then you're going to put all your singles on. And first team to 10 wins. I'm typically in our bi-district, and we'll get to play all of our matches, so we'll have a full score. If you paid attention to our scores this year, you would see sometimes we would win 10-0 or 10-2, and that would be the other team would just say, hey, you're at 10, let's call it a night and go home. But for now when we're in playoffs, typically you'll play out all 19 matches.
Is that hard when you don't play them all during district because you're not getting that experience of having to do it?
Yes, I would say absolutely. I really feel because typically what will happen is you play all your doubles, and not all of our doubles players play singles, and not all of our singles play doubles.
Okay.
So, and then typically when you put on your singles matches, you start at the top of your roster, so everyone is ranked in a position. So you have a number 1, a number 2, a number 3, through number 6 for singles. So oftentimes those 4 through 6 aren't going to get an opportunity to play, because if we've won all our doubles matches and you're going into singles, you only need to win 3, and then you hit your number.
Well, is that set before the match even starts, 1 through 6, or can you switch them around if it looks like you may be wrapping it up?
You can't switch things around.
So you turn in like a lineup, and it's like, this is it for the match.
That's right. Your lineup is your lineup. I mean, if you play by court availability and you play by player availability, so say a lot of times the girls' doubles matches take exhaustively longer than the boys' doubles matches. So maybe you might actually get through all 6 boys' singles and barely get a girls' singles on, because they're just coming off of doubles, and that can happen. But as far as the seeding of your team, 1 through 6, there are UIL rules on that. So you have to play your number one player in the number one seed,
Okay,
right?
I
And you
gotcha.
play your number two, and they can only climb up or move down the ladder one position every week.
Okay.
So once you set your lineup that first week, you're set, and then we do challenge matches in our practices to determine how we're going to rank our own players.
Okay.
I can tell you, especially on our boys' side this year, they're just good, and they're good from 1 through 6. And so I would say in our top 4 at least, any given day, I think any one of them could pull the win against the other, just on who's having the better day.
Right.
Yeah, so that's fun to
And
have that depth in
To
your
have
lineup.
that kind of competition within your own system.
Yep.
And so, but that's funny you mentioned, sometimes 4, 5, 6 might not get to play. That's going to be who might determine winning a match or not, or
Absolutely.
or match against that school.
Absolutely, because that has been our strength in our district. I would say, if you go back and you look at our actual, we came away with the wins, but we played lots of super tiebreakers. What that means is we won one set, the opponent won the other, and then they play a 10-point super tiebreaker as a third set. And we would win those tiebreakers 10-8. 11-9. I mean, they were really close matches, especially at the top in our district. There's some really solid young ladies, young men from the other schools. What is different about our team is we have a depth in our lineup that we can, all the way through our 6, on both the girls and the boys' side, we still have some really strong players.
There's not a huge drop off between 1 through 6. You're still getting
No.
the quality down at the bottom of
Yep.
the season.
Some solid players.
So tell us a little bit about your spring season. What is that? Is that more individual, or how
Yes.
how does that work?
So spring season is called individual tennis. We still compete as a team, and sometimes there's even team trophies you can win at tournaments, but it's tournament play as opposed to playing a duel. So when we play in the spring format, you will have 2 boys singles, 2 girls singles, so you have your number 1, your number 2. And then you'll have 2 boys doubles, 2 girls doubles, a number 1 team and a number 2, and then 2 mixed doubles teams, a number 1 and a number 2. And we'll play there. There's some rules with UIL. You can only play 8 tournaments in a school year. There's a definition for what makes a tournament. Pretty much if you miss school, even for 10 minutes, that's a tournament. So we worked it out this fall to not have to miss any school time so that our players would have a full 8 tournament season for the spring. And then there's a district tournament, and from district, the top 2 players advance to regionals. Now, last year we advanced 3 players in our spring season. Our number 1 girl, our girl singles player, advanced to regionals. She's off in college playing right now. Happens to be my daughter. And we had a mixed doubles team advanced to regionals last year. So we're hoping to, that was in my eyes, that was 2 teams or like 2 positions that advanced to regionals. So our goal is going to be 3 or more this year, right? We want to have more players advancing to regionals. We had near misses last year. It was unfortunate on the boys singles side. A young man ended up in 3rd. We were hoping that he would advance through at least at number 2. And we had a second mixed doubles team that was fantastic. At district was just a tough match last year. So we look forward to this year.
They're all back, except
No.
for your daughter? Or
No, those ones all graduated.
Oh, really?
Yeah, we had, I think we had 10 seniors graduate last year. And in fact, there was a lot of, at the end of the season, what are you going to do next year? You're losing all this talent. We just have so much depth of talent. And I think our team this year has really shown that not only could they win, they could even win bigger, as they did this fall.
Now, in your fall season right now, in district, are you only allowed to? Well, I guess because you're doing duels, it doesn't work that way. But like when I played golf, we were able to send like 2 teams to district. You're not able to do that, right? You can't send like. I think
No.
I'm answering my own question.
Yes, you did.
Yeah, I did.
Good answer.
Because y'all are
Yeah, it's
playing
just a
another
team.
You can't
Yeah.
do that.
Yeah, we're just playing another team. Now, in the spring format, you have a district tournament same thing, 2 boys singles, 2 girls singles, 2 boys doubles, 2, and all of that. There's a JV district tournament in the spring, and in JV, we're actually able to add a third individual or team to each of those divisions. So our roster for varsity is 8 for the spring. Our roster on JV, well, our roster is 16, 8 girls, 8 boys. Our roster for JV could be 20 total, because we can take on that extra few positions.
Okay.
How
12.
many players how many athletes do you have out in the tennis?
Okay, right now in our tennis program, we have over 55 athletes
Wow.
with 2 coaches on 5 courts. And I can tell you as a coach, that is a lot of players on court. If you ask our varsity players that are here, we try to preserve 3 of the courts just for varsity so they have more court time, more reps in the fall. It's not a JV season. For us in the fall with our JV players, which the bulk of those players are, we're teaching skills to the new ones coming in, and we're reinforcing, what they left off with last year. We will actually trim this down this year. We're going to cut it down to no more than 24 on our JV and 16 on our varsity, because it's just with court space that we have available and 2 coaches, and to really give them the reps they need to be competitive, we're going to trim it down. Last year we ran a 3rd JV team, but it's just too much. Learned a lesson. That was my first year coaching here, and it's never again, either more courts, more coaches, or 2 athletic periods or something. But with what we have, the players work really, really hard, and they're just doing great out there. They're out there every morning at 6:30 a.m., and for a while you're sweating and it's humid. Now it's nice and cool. And come spring season, we'll be out there. It'll be 28 degrees.
Ooh.
Yeah, it's really, really chilly in the morning sometimes. It's fun when you go to tournaments because you could start the day at 30 and end the day at 80, because this is South Texas, right?
Yeah.
So that's a lot of fun.
So like a match like y'all play in district, or we're playing in district right now, when do they start? Like time of the day?
So because we didn't want to miss any school for the fall, and because it's duels, those are played in the afternoon. So those matches would start at 4:30 p.m.
Okay.
So we release at 4:15. They run to the court, change, get on court, and play. But in the spring, we'll leave at 6 a.m., get on a bus, and we'll be gone all day. We will get home anywhere between 8 and 10 p.m. on a varsity match. JV, we might get in a little earlier. They run a slightly different format for a JV, an 8-game pro set that goes much more quickly. Varsity plays 2 out of 3 sets with that super tiebreaker for a third.
And all the players at Medina Valley, they can play tennis as a freshman, but there's no middle school program yet, correct? Or is there?
Wow, there was no middle school up until now. So this is the first year Medina Valley is going to be offering a middle school program. We're super excited about it. They're putting in a couple of courts at Loma Alta. And Medina Valley Middle School already has courts. The coaches have already been identified. It's all been approved. So they will have a late spring season this year, which we're, in turn, very excited about at the high school, because that means that we're going to have players that have played tennis before. We did this summer, working with San Antonio Tennis Association. They came out here and did a 6-week summer camp. We had we capped the enrollment on it. We had to stop it at 80 players. This summer, we're going to take up to 100, as long as we are able to use both sets of courts. They do it for very inexpensively for families. This past summer, it was $60 for 6 weeks, 3 days a week, 3 hours a day.
Wow.
Even if you sent your kid for 2 weeks, that's a bargain in terms of
for sure.
summer athletic programs. So I've already talked with Paul Ramos. He's the coordinator at San Antonio Tennis. They do plan on bringing it in again this year. He's even has offered up maybe some holiday camps for us as well on low cost, and that helps us as a program because it brings tennis to the area.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can I tell you a dream I have? Is that okay to say a dream I have on here? In case anyone out there is listening and has, this is like Field of Dreams, but it's Court of Dreams. I would love to see in Medina County a tennis and pickleball facility. There's nothing out here. I think definitely the interest, if we're able to fill a summer camp Even our own camp, we had over 80 participants. But there's just so much interest in pickleball now, tennis as well. I would love to see a 12 to 14 court facility come out here, have a pro shop, have a pro in place so that we can really have strong tennis in the future here.
One of the things it's like golf. Tennis is something you can play after high school. It's not something that ends if you don't go play at college. It's something you can do for the rest of your life.
So is pickleball.
And so is pickleball. And absolutely, every weekend, if you drive by our high school courts, you will see we have several community members that come out and are playing on the courts. Sometimes they're in the parking lot when we're leaving at the end of practice. They're like waiting in their cars to get on our courts. They are the only other courts in the area is the single court at Regional Park.
Yeah.
So it would be just fantastic to have a facility. We could run tournaments out of it. Right now, when we run our big spring tournament, Southwest is very kind, and we share facilities. So we have 9 courts here. They have 8 courts there. We're able to run a 10-team tournament. With just the number of courts we have at the high school, we can only run a 5-team tournament and do it in a reasonable time frame in a day. So just a dream.
Yeah, but a good one.
Yeah.
But, Coach, thanks for joining us. Good luck to y'all coming up in your bi-district match. And when is that?
Our bi-district, we play next Tuesday, October the 11th, at McFarland Tennis Center in San Antonio.
Okay. Well, good luck in that. And you brought some players with you
Yes.
to talk to us, right?
Yes.
Okay, well, we're going to take a break, and then we'll come back and talk to those young men and women. Thank you for joining us. Good luck in the season and in the spring season as well. We're going to take a break and come back. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue here in a moment.
Sammy's Restaurant and Havy's Alsatian Bakery, 2 legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Havy's Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Havy's Alsatian Bakery, online at havysbakery.com.
Texas, 268,000 square miles and then some. Twice as much elbow room as California. There's just no place like Texas. And you can take that to the bank. Texan Bank, poised and ready for a future that's wide open. Member FDIC.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall, or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tondre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home.
Bush's Chicken, one of the oldest locations in Castroville, is proud to serve the Medina Valley area. Bush's Chicken has one goal: be the best. Bush's Chicken knows its success comes from loyal customers in the communities they serve. Stop by Bush's Chicken on Tuesday and get the Tender Tuesday deal, or try their buffalo fries and ask about their Panther special. It's always a hit. Bush's Chicken. Chicken, 935 Highway 90 East in Castroville. Call them at 830-538-2800.
All right, welcome back to Sports for Supper, as we just had Coach Webb on talking about the tennis program, and now we're joined by 4 individuals that play. I think it's the girls doubles, right, and the guys doubles team.
Yes, sir.
And if whichever one of y'all wants to start, if you tell us your name and your year in school, that kind of thing, and we'll go from there.
I'm Madison, and I'm a junior.
No, don't pass it down. We'll stay with you. We'll
Okay.
start one at a time there.
Okay.
So, so you're a junior. How long have you been playing tennis
I've been
for?
playing for about 3 years now.
3, and what made you pick up playing tennis?
I just wasn't doing any sports, and it seemed cool, so I wanted to join.
And you just liked it, fell in love with it, stuck with it?
Yes.
So, is this your first year on the varsity, or were you on varsity before?
This is my second year on varsity.
You're on varsity. And tell us a little bit about, so you won the district, you got by-district coming up.
Yes.
Tell us a little bit about the matches. So you're on the number 2?
Girls doubles, yes.
Doubles. Tell us a little bit about that, and what a normal day of practice looks like for you.
Well, at practice, we usually start stretches about like 6:45, and then we'll warm up for like 10 minutes, and we'll just start doing drills, and sometimes we'll do match play. Yeah.
Do you do drills based on, like, hey, this was my weakness in the last match, this is what we need to work on this week, or is it just...
Yeah, kind of. We just like go like what overall we need to work on, and yeah.
Are y'all able to see film of, like, other teams that you're going to be playing, like, next week? Things
No,
like that?
we don't.
You can't do
No.
that? Okay. I didn't know.
So what part of your game do you think you need to improve on the most?
My volleys, I'm not very good at them.
Straightforward answer.
Yeah.
Not a good thing to not be really
Yeah,
good
it
at.
really isn't. But I'm getting better. It's okay.
So I got a question. So when you play doubles, someone's in front and back.
Yeah.
You all switch off who's there and back based on who's serving. Is that how that works? Or?
Yeah. Well, yes, kind of. Yeah.
Okay. So where are you more comfortable? Up closer to the net or? farther
No,
back?
at the baseline. Yeah, I'm more back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So your
Yeah.
partner's over here, right?
Yes.
Okay, we'll talk to her. We'll actually talk to her next. That way
Okay.
you kind of get both sides of it. But, you don't like that. I'm just messing with you.
Do y'all have like a tennis, not a camp, but a tennis league outside of school that y'all can do in the summer, or is that something have you done that before?
Yeah, well, there's JTT, which we can do in the spring, and there's also like summer camps that we can do for tennis.
What is JTT? Is that
It's
junior
like
or-
junior tennis something.
Where is that?
It's
where
in-
do you go to
You just-
participate in that?
You just play matches against like other people who sign up. It's not like a school thing. It's like you individually, you make a team with people and you sign up, and then you just play against other teams that people have created.
Usually Amory.
But is it the same age? I mean, you're not
yeah.
playing somebody that's not even in school anymore, correct?
Yes.
And so I completely forgot what I was going to say.
Can I chime in on
Yeah,
that?
absolutely.
Yeah, so JTT is junior team tennis.
Okay.
It's run from San Antonio Tennis Association out of McFarland, and our students, all of our athletes can play on it. JTT starts at age 6. There's 10 and under teams, 12 and under teams,
Okay.
14 and under, 18 and under. There's 3 different levels: novice, intermediate, and advanced. It's a great opportunity to play outside of school. Any of these players could play in any USTA tournaments taking place in San Antonio or across the state if they wanted to on weekends. I don't think we have a lot of students, or if any players are participating in the USTA tournaments, but they're offered here in San Antonio quite often, every couple weeks.
Okay. And what's would you rather play fall or spring? What's your favorite?
Spring is my favorite.
Why?
I think it's just the fact that it's an individual thing, so it's not relying on how your teammates really do. You yourself can win first place.
Gotcha. And so y'all start early in the morning. That's when your practices
Yes.
are? Do y'all practice after school too, or just once a day?
Once a day in the mornings.
Match on the line, would you rather be serving or receiving?
I'd rather be receiving. I think it's more fun that way.
But can't you control the tempo when you serve first?
Yeah, but then if you mess up your serve, you just mess it all up. So.
So you don't do any other sports outside of tennis?
No, I don't.
Cool. Well, thanks for joining us, and good luck on the rest of the season and in your spring season.
You're welcome. Thank you.
And we'll move to your doubles partner. If you'll tell us your name and year you're in school.
Hi, I'm Christina Hester, and I'm a junior.
You're a junior also. Okay.
Yes, sir.
Tell us a little bit about playing with her. Do you have some of the same feelings about the way the match goes that she does?
I'm actually stronger at net, so my volley game is better than hers, and I hate being at baseline. But I also, it's because I'm taller. A lot of the times they're gonna hit really low balls, so it's a really far drop for me. So, and just I also play sand volleyball, so I have the vertical. So being in net's a very big plus for me and for our team.
And when you're that close, your reflexes have to be a little more on point,
Oh,
right? Because
yes,
you're right
yes, sir.
there.
Yes, sir. They, a lot of the balls will try to hit you like in the face or like body shots, so you have to be able to deflect those.
That's an on purpose thing.
Most of the time, yes, sir. They're petty.
That's awesome. I want to go back and play so I can do that to somebody else.
So what inspired you to pick up the game of tennis?
Actually, my coach. I live on a horse farm, and I used to give her daughter riding lessons, and she came up during the summer, and she was like, hey, why aren't you doing tennis? And I was like, I don't really know, because I wasn't really sure, because I came back from a couple injuries, and I decided to try it out, and I really loved it.
When did you start?
Yeah,
When was that?
Last September.
So you played spring last year.
I played fall and spring, sir.
You played fall and spring last year?
Yes, sir. I was JV in the spring, and I was JV and a varsity sub JV in the fall and a JV and varsity sub in the spring.
What hooked you on it? Like when she came out and tried it, what kept you?
The adrenaline rush at net.
Really?
So, yes, sir.
Okay.
So you've been playing for a little over 3 years? And not even 2?
No, sir. Just 1 year.
And y'all won the championship? I mean, there must be something cohesive that y'all work with together.
So do y'all get to pick who you play with, like at the beginning of the year, or how does that work?
We can kind of put in like a preference of like who we like to play with, but at the end of the day, coach will partner us up with who we play best with.
Based on strengths and weaknesses and
Yes,
things
sir.
like that?
Yes,
It
sir.
kind of meshes together.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So
You said you play sand volleyball, but
Yes, sir.
that's not a school thing, right?
No, sir, it's
they
not a
don't
school.
offer that in Medina, right?
No, sir.
Okay, I didn't think so. But,
No, sir.
but do you play like in leagues or things like that? Or?
It's like a Sunday league here at the park. It's just like with families.
I've seen that
Yes,
out
sir.
there. Okay. And do you play any of the like summer tournaments in tennis and things like that?
I mean, I would like to, but I just kind of have to have find free time because I also, like I said, live on a horse farm, so I have a lot of responsibilities to take care of during the summer.
Okay.
So match on the line, would you rather be serving or receiving?
Oh, serving, 100%. Because I would like to say that I'm pretty strong overall, and I like to be able to just slam the ball straight in the corner and end the point right away, so there's no rallying back and forth.
So you pick on their backhand or forehand when you serve?
Oh, backhand. It's I think it's like 90% of people, like more than 95% of people's weaker shot. So I just try to go for that because most of the time they can't really pop it up well. And if they do, it's going to be a lob and it's a straight overhead and it ends the point there.
And she takes care of it at the net then?
Well,
When you serve and they pop it up, she takes care of it and gives them the facial on the other side or what?
I like to place my serves where I'm in a position for me to go up to net, and if it's necessary, she can go back, but I like to be able to push myself straight up to net, so I'm where I'm most comfortable, and she's where she's comfortable.
So when you serve, you can still go up to the net and you can drift back.
Yes, sir. Once you serve, you can be anywhere on court.
Okay, I didn't realize that. That's cool. So you still have 1 year. You're junior, you said, right?
Yes,
Both
sir.
Juniors. Okay. And do you like to do fall or spring better?
Spring, because I feel like that's more of an individual thing, so it's a personal win, not so much a team win, and it's good for the team to win, but it's also good for you too.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Well, thank y'all for joining us, and we're going to move on to the guys here.
Do you play any other sports?
I mostly just stick to tennis now. Connor's like, no.
It's like, I want the mic. No, you're good. You're good. Well, good luck in coming up, and
Thank you.
Good luck in the spring season also.
Thank you.
And if you'll tell us your name and year in school.
Yes, sir. My name's Connor Stone, and I am a senior this year.
And how long have you been playing?
I've been playing since my freshman year, so about 4 years.
And what got you involved in tennis?
So, my whole life I've kind of like played like the same sports as my brother. So like high school was different, so I wanted to try something new. And tennis was like, my dad also played tennis.
Okay.
He wasn't in like the school, but he also recreationally played it. So it was kind of familiar for me, so I wanted to play. So yeah.
And you loved it and stuck with it?
I loved it, yes.
Do you like spring or fall more?
I think I'm with everyone else, and I really like spring. It's more individual, and it feels good to like get that like individual win. But also, I feel like the team gets closer because we're together all day. So we kind of build like greater bonds and stuff, and I really enjoy like being with my team. So.
Okay.
So what inspired you to pick up a tennis racket? And how long have you been playing tennis?
So I have been playing since freshman year, and really, the first day I played tennis, I was like, oh my gosh, what is this? It's not as easy as it looks. Like holding the racket is like, there's a certain way you have to hold it, there's a certain way you have to hit it. So it was a gradual thing, but I was like, I'm gonna stick to this. I'm gonna do this. So yeah.
So your doubles partner's sitting over here too, right?
Yes.
We're going to talk to him
Yes.
next. So would you rather be by the net, or is he more by the net?
I think Ryan is very strong at the net. I'm gonna toot his horn, but I think I prefer being in the back.
Okay.
On the baseline, yeah.
And do you play? So y'all play doubles. Will you play doubles then in the spring, or do y'all play individual matches ever?
So during the spring, previously we played doubles, but I think this year he's gonna play singles. I still haven't figured out like, cause you can only play singles or doubles during spring, so
Okay.
I haven't figured out quite yet what I'm gonna do, but it is coming up, so I need to figure that out.
And I didn't have to, because it's a team. In the team part, you can play singles and doubles, right? Do any of y'all do more than one?
Yes.
Do y'all,
Yes,
do y'all all play singles too?
Just
Yes.
except me.
Okay.
During fall season, you play singles and
Okay.
doubles. Yeah.
And do y'all enjoy one over the other, or which one's is one more pressured than the other?
I enjoy doubles a lot more because singles I oftentimes get stressed out, and like doubles you have your partner, you have that connection, so it's easier to like not get in your head.
Yeah. I would imagine that, if something doesn't go your way, you have someone to kind of pick you back up and motivate you.
Yes.
If you're by
Yes, sir.
yourself, it's just always there.
Yeah.
How big of a mental thing is tennis? Like how much is it?
It
in your
is
head?
all. It's so mental. Like there's been countless times when I've like gotten my head and then like count like game after game I've lost, but then you just have to like collect yourself at the end, and you gotta like just breathe. Just breathing is the most important thing. And
Can
then
you
just
read like when your opponent is in their head? Like, can you start
Yes.
to tell like, hey, I've got them on the ropes. Like now's the time to finish it off.
Yes, sir. Yes.
You can read that.
Yes.
Okay.
It's obvious when they like start like slapping their foot with their racket,
Or
or
like showing frustration,
Yeah.
things like that. So, if you're starting to get frustrated in a match, is that one of the things that you like try to work on? Is to not show that to your opponent? Is that ever like a thing? that
Yes,
goes through your
yes,
head?
because like you said, like you can tell when your opponent is stressed, and it does like, it kind of like gives you that mindset like, oh, I'm doing good, like I can keep doing this, and then it gives them that like discouragement. So I don't try to show that. Sometimes I do, but I try not
Sometimes
to.
it happens.
Yeah. Sometimes I'm just playing really bad. And
Do you do any other sports besides tennis?
no, sir, I play only tennis.
Oh, that was going to be my next question.
And,
Well,
no, go ahead.
if Cameron picks up a tennis racket, can he beat you in tennis? And if you pick up a golf club, can you beat him in golf?
For sure, I think I can beat him in tennis, and I'm horrible at golf. We've tried that, but like mini golf, maybe.
We've tried that.
Maybe I can beat him in mini golf if you're listening. Yes, but
He plays pretty good golf.
yes, sir. Yes, he does.
He played in that last Casterville tournament out there.
Yes.
And you said you're a senior, right?
Yes,
You
sir.
any plans after high school?
Yes, sir. So I want to go to College Station and get my business degree.
Okay.
Maybe I'll go to Blend first, and then.
Okay, then what's with the cap?
I know what you're thinking, but my dad went to UT. Well, no, he didn't go to UT. He went to what's that? St. Phillips. But my family went to UT. So.
Okay.
Awesome. Well, thanks for joining us. Good luck on the rest of the fall season and in the spring.
Thank you.
And we'll move on to your partner over here. And if you'll tell us your name and year in school and all that good stuff.
My name is Ryan Quiroz. I'm a senior.
And how long have you been playing?
I've been playing since my freshman year.
Okay. And what got you involved?
So I initially wasn't going to play tennis in high school, but after a certain track injury, I was left with not playing any sports. I wasn't going to do football. I've never had any experience with football. And then I didn't want to be in off season until basketball again. So I was like, what is the least intensive sport I can play? And I picked tennis.
You picked tennis
And-
over golf?
Well, I didn't have any golf equipment, but I had a tennis racket. And so, yeah, 2 months into tennis, I was like, okay, this is probably like not the best idea because I wasn't even released yet. I was still on a torn hamstring and a torn quad from track.
Ouch.
Oh, wow.
But I continued playing tennis. I ended up enjoying it for the rest of my freshman year, and I continued playing all throughout high school.
Maury, his mother was a decorated basketball player from Medina Valley many years ago.
Really?
Ask him about that.
Sonia.
Okay.
And who was your
My mom is Sonia Duron.
Oh, wow, okay. She was a very good basketball player.
Yes, he was.
And anyway, so go ahead. Would you?
What part of your game do you think you need to improve on more?
Maybe positioning. I think positioning is probably the biggest thing. And where to hit the ball. I think that's probably the biggest thing that maybe hurt me in singles these past 2 games. But serves, I think I'm okay with. Volleys, recently I've been doing really well with. And ground strokes, just a little bit more improvement. But I really do think it's positioning.
What makes you and Connor work together so good?
Just, I guess, playing the game. I mean,
You know, like, is your strong point his weak point and vice versa? Or
I think we both complement each other pretty well on the tennis court. I think if we're put in a certain role at net or serving or whichever, then we can at least fulfill that.
your coach had mentioned that during the fall season, y'all were won 70 matches and lost 10. Did y'all lose any matches?
We did not lose any
Were
as
y'all
doubles.
undefeated?
Yes.
We were undefeated as doubles.
As a doubles.
As a doubles.
team, you were undefeated.
Who was the biggest? Who was the biggest challenge for y'all? What school?
It wasn't McCollum. Yes, Eagle Pass.
Eagle Pass wins.
Yes, you see.
But I guess that was just getting back into things.
Yeah, it was the first.
It was our first district match, and it was just getting back into things as seniors
so how
playing
long
again.
did it take you to overcome your quad and your hamstring injury before you really felt like, hey, I can really reach up and rear back on a serve? Because that's something you can re-injure quick. And go over the exercise. I mean, the pre warm-up. I mean, how much do you stretch out and make sure that that's not going to happen?
I don't stretch that much, but this injury has not really hindered me as much. It was the injury before my hip flexor. I tore it during basketball season of the same year, 8th grade. And in terms of, I guess, training, like legs for tennis and track and stuff like that, that one has kind of messed me up a lot.
So what do you do? What is your number one drill to improve your leg strength?
It hasn't been strength. It's just been, I guess, mobility, like
endurance.
running around court. Yes.
Do y'all run a lot, like for endurance or things like that? Is that part of y'all's practice or anything like that? Like
Sometimes-
cardio?
I think this year it has been less like frequent, but last year we did run a lot. This year it's more of like a
In the drills, we have
drills?
our yes sir.
Yeah,
Drills, yes.
it's more built into
Yes,
to
sir.
actually playing and doing it at the
Yes,
same
sir.
time.
And if you're
And then
not running, you're running suicides.
And then also, I guess, playing on a higher level, there's more movement on the court. Sometimes we have conditioning during practice that aids with that.
Do y'all have like you get into, playoffs and stuff, you start facing some really good teams. Do y'all have like a team that y'all circle, like, hey, that's the one we got to get through, or anything like that? Or do you know who's coming? Or do y'all even pay much attention to that, or just, hey, next one up?
Yes, throughout this season, we've actually been paying attention to the other schools that we've been facing. I know Southwest was one that we thought was a challenge, and we beat them pretty well.
10-3.
Yeah, and then
before we got to them, we thought they were a challenge.
yeah, but we beat them, and then same thing with McCollum. We beat them pretty well. I'm pretty sure. Yeah.
It was 10.
Are there different types of courts that y'all play on, as far as the surface?
The surface. No, we all play on.
It's all the same. There's nothing. There's no concrete. It's all pretty much
It's the same.
asphalt, or what is it called?
Is it concrete?
I don't even
Oh, I have no idea. But
we
all play on the same
It
courts.
hurts. Like it'll leave like indents in your skin, and you will have court burn. Like
Yeah.
I remember like my first day that I came, I tripped on my own foot, and like I ended up scratching like the crap out of my knees, and I still have scars.
How about your shoes? Talk about the shoes.
Oh, okay. Me in particular, I have burned through probably 6 pairs of shoes throughout the past 2.5 years of playing tennis. It's specifically the right one though, because that is actually no, it's the left one
No,
because
mine's my right, because it's the foot you drag.
no, but for me, the left one I drag a lot, and so usually whenever I do get a new pair of shoes, the left one that I used beforehand has a giant hole, like on the inside.
Bottom of the sole?
Yes, on the inside.
like by like the big, like this is like your toe, like this is your big toe, like this whole side of the shoe of mine will, like on my right foot though, will have a hole in it. So like I'm like kind of cheap, so I'm like, I'm not gonna get rid of this shoe pair until it's like completely dead. So I'll tape it, I'll put stuff on the inside, but like it'll like the court will like burn through your socks too.
Yeah.
Are there like specific tennis shoes?
Yes,
like
sir.
made
There's
for-
court shoes.
There are. And
What brand?
New Balances.
The ones that I use are
Asics.
Babolat shoes, and they have Michelin tire rubber on them
Really?
to protect from that because that's how
Maybe
bad it
make
is.
some Goodrich or something if the Michigan
Yeah.
keeps wearing out. What tennis rackets do y'all use? What brands?
Yonex.
Yonex?
The Wilson Ultra.
Ultra?
Yeah, it's my
Is that a new?
Babolat? Pretty high-end tennis brand.
Because I've never heard of.
It's a good racket.
But they only do tennis supplies? Like they're not into anything else?
I don't know Babolat in anything other than tennis.
Okay.
Yeah, I think
I
I'm
got
into
you.
tennis.
So they're tennis specific.
Yes,
and
sir.
do y'all have? They make like different. How do you say this? Like the stiffness of the racket, like the strength and
strings?
stuff like
Yes,
that.
What's the tension in y'all's?
55 pounds.
55?
55
I
pounds.
think 55 too.
Does that have to do with like your game as to how you're fitted for that?
Yes, it has to do with power and control.
Because you have people that are like flat hitters, and you have people that hit with a lot of spin. So like you kind of like want to put your tension where you need it for your type of hitting style.
And what's kind of so you put a lot of spin on it. Does the ball actually curve and stuff because of that?
Yes, sir. You can put top spin or back spin, and the top spin will help you. So the harder you hit, the ball will go back down into the court.
I got you.
Top spin pro.
Yeah. It's amazing how much kind of goes into that. You don't think about it. You watch it on TV and you're like, yeah, I could do that. And I actually went out one time and tried to. No, it did not go well. I actually started just hitting it like a baseball because it's
it's hard.
It's get more like, hey, I can whack it.
Yeah, home runs are fun.
But okay, so do you like fall or spring better?
I like spring.
Spring.
Yes.
Is that kind of the general consensus with like everybody on the team?
Yeah.
They just kind of like spring better because it's more individual.
I'm more centered around playing singles.
Okay.
So I think it was last year or the year before, where during fall season I just could not find a doubles partner that I guess complemented well with, and I asked to be exclusively singles for the duration of fall season.
But then y'all found each other and just worked well together.
Yeah. Last year during spring, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Because I can imagine like you could get very frustrated with a doubles partner, right?
Yes,
Very quickly.
and we
Like,
have.
I could
we
not
have,
deal with you anymore.
Yeah.
We have had our moments, yes.
Beginning of last year, I think I switched to 4 different doubles partners.
It's hard though to find like a really good match.
Yeah. But to be fair,
Oh, you're both on the homecoming court?
Yes.
Both of you
Yes,
guys?
sir. Yes.
Y'all want to make like a final play like for votes or something on here?
the voting closed.
Oh, is it done already?
Yeah.
Earlier today at
It closed at
4:15.
We asked the football
The football
players who they thought, but they couldn't give us an answer on
Yeah, they didn't even. They were like,
the- on the
we're not
girls.
even going to be part of
They
that.
gave us an answer on the boys, and I can't remember who they
I don't
even
even
said.
remember.
It said
who they
Ruben.
Yeah,
They
I
said
think
Ruben. We heard
I
Ruben.
Oh,
They
really?
predicted.
Okay.
Well, that's funny because
I ran out.
I didn't know y'all were on it, but I heard y'all listening. Like I saw y'all turn around when we
were
got
like-
to that, and I was
Yeah.
like, "Oh, they want to know," but I didn't know y'all were on the court.
Yes, sir.
Kyle,
We both are.
Kyle, after he said it, because he knew I heard Ruben Reyes, and he was like, "It's just a prediction, Ryan," and I was like, "Okay." Thank you.
It's
Yeah,
very
no,
serious.
I think he even said he didn't vote, or that's
Yeah.
what he told us is
Yeah.
he didn't vote because he knew a bunch of people on it, didn't want to like upset anyone.
I think he
Yeah,
told me
well-
he didn't vote the first round, but he did the second one, and then I don't think he voted this round at all.
Wow.
Well, good luck to y'all both.
Yeah, good luck to y'all, and maybe we'll be
And
calling
the
out your
young
name on
ladies.
Friday night anyway at the
Yeah.
football game. But good luck to you guys. Thank y'all for joining us
Thank
you.
tonight. We appreciate y'all being here and taking time out to come here and talk to us. And good luck on the rest of the season and in your spring season also.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're going to take a break, and then we'll, Mari and I and Jeff will come back and kind of wrap things up. You're listening to Sports for Supper, and we'll continue
Thank
in a
you.
moment.
Bush's Chicken, one of the oldest locations in Castroville, is proud to serve the Medina Valley area. Bush's Chicken has one goal: be the best. Bush's Chicken knows its success comes from loyal customers in the communities they serve. Stop by Bush's Chicken on Tuesday and get the Tender Tuesday deal, or try their buffalo fries and ask about their Panther special. It's always a hit. Bush's Chicken, 935 Highway 90 East in Castroville. Call them at 830-538-2800.
Ten 413-1597 or online at doubleTHunting.com. Sammy's Restaurant and Habeas Alsatian Bakery, 2 legendary landmarks in Castroville. From breakfast to delicious hometown lunch specials and more, Sammy's satisfies your taste buds with the unique flavor of Castroville. And from fresh baked breads to pies and pastries, South Texans have made Habeas Alsatian Bakery a must-to-visit since 1940. Sammy's Restaurant, online at sammysrestaurant.com. Habeas Alsatian Bakery, online at habeasbakery.com.
Texas, 268,000 square miles and then some. Twice as much elbow room as California. There's just no place like Texas. And you can take that to the bank. Texan Bank, poised and ready for a future that's wide open. Member FDIC.
Peerless Equipment, your South Texas irrigation experts. Peerless Equipment specializes in sales and service of irrigation equipment to the agricultural and wildlife industries. This includes hose reels, big guns, pivot systems, underground pipelines, turbine well pumps, booster pumps, motors, valves, and an inventory of much more. Stop by one of their locations in Hondo and Pearsall or give them a call at 210-434-7867. Peerless Equipment, bringing water to you.
Are you ready for a vacation? Tanya with Travel by Design can help you with all your vacation destination needs. At no cost to you, she can plan all of the details tailored to your unique wants and needs. So all you have to do is enjoy your vacation. Tanya is a certified expert with Disney, Universal Orlando, and California, Sandals, and all cruise lines. Give Tanya a call at 830-931-4834 or visit her Facebook page, Tanya with Travel by Design, for all the latest specials and must-do vacations.
Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home in Castroville, Texas, has been providing funeral services to families in the Medina Valley and surrounding areas for many generations. Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home is proud to support the broadcast by the Medina Valley Broadcast Network for the athletes and students participating in this event. Go Panthers! Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home, Castroville, Texas. You may view obituaries at Tondre, Tondre-Gwynn, Guinn.com, or visit the Facebook page of Tondre Gwynn Funeral Home to view funeral notices.
Bush's Chicken, one of the oldest locations in Castroville, is proud to serve the Medina Valley area. Bush's Chicken has one goal: be the best. Bush's Chicken knows its success comes from loyal customers in the communities they serve. Stop by Bush's Chicken on Tuesday and get the Tender Tuesday deal, or try their buffalo fries and ask about their Panther special. It's always a hit. Bush's Chicken, 935 Highway 90 East in Castroville. Call them at 830-538-2800.
Welcome back to Sports for Supper at Sammy's. We had a good conversation with Coach Martinez and two of the players, Keller and Stewman, and then Coach Webb from the tennis team and four of the tennis players, and it was very entertaining and interesting. And
The
I'm
district-
back over to Jared.
The district champion team tennis
Ball
team.
tennis team.
Yep, and what did they said? They went 6-0 in district, and you know,
And in their matches,
they were
70
70
wins,
and 10.
10 losses. That's pretty
That's,
impressive.
yeah, that's very good. I mean, out of 80 matches, you only lost 10. I mean, that's insane.
domination.
Yeah, for sure. And you know, they'll be starting by district. Will be next Tuesday. Not sure who they'll play yet. I think they said they were leaning toward maybe Highlands, but they'll find out, I believe, tomorrow.
Tomorrow, she said,
who they'll
yes.
be playing, but that'll be their by district. Will be Tuesday. So good luck to them. Also, volleyball. What do we have an update on?
Volleyball won last night.
3-1, and they're in sole possession of third place right now, with Southwest coming up Friday, which if they beat them, they'd tie for second. So that's going to be a big match.
Panthers have two losses, and one was to Southwest, and one was to
Harlandale. And they'll get Harlandale next Tuesday. So we plan on broadcasting all these games coming up.
Okay. And then on Friday night, the Panthers homecoming at home against Laredo Nixon. That will be a 7 o'clock start. We'll be on the air around 6:40, 6:45-ish to have that game for you. And I know I missed the Southside game and the Eagle Pass game. I tuned in a couple of times just to see the score.
You were checking on us to make sure that we were doing
So
okay.
the funny thing is I never even listened. I just got on.
Now you hurt our feelings.
So, well, I got on to see the score because we were doing stuff. I couldn't hear anyway. But, you know, the Southside game I got on, and the next thing it wasn't on, and it was like 7:15, and it wasn't on. I was like, uh-oh, and then
You found out
I
the
found out what
we
happened.
had a little delay in that one.
Yeah,
But the guys have played well. I mean, Southside game, we talked about it last week. You just take away those two series, really. You take away 2 series. The first one of the game and the first one of the second half, it's a different ball game.
Yeah.
And it looked like, and I know you're talking about weaker opponents, but this last week, you could really see the guys growing up. Not only the sophomores, but the freshman quarterback. And everybody's getting more reps. The game's starting to slow down. They feel more comfortable with what they're doing. I think Coach Martinez alluded to that a little bit. They're believing their reads. They're believing what they see. And so they're improving every week. And I think that's one thing that you look for as a coach. You want to see improvement every week.
Well, and Coach Martinez talked about having to get them to buy into the change in what they brought in this year.
What their keys were.
Yeah.
As far as what they're looking for on the defensive side, not staring completely into the backfield and reading the blocks and everything. So,
well, and sometimes you can tell them all day long, but until you show them on a film, like, hey, this is what happened. Here's how we adjusted that. Here's how we corrected. It took a few games for them to do that and show them, and I think the kids have bought into that because they've seen what was wrong.
And you can't mimic it in practice.
Right.
So it's game situation that you got to be in so you can learn to do stuff like that.
you got to make a mistake to learn from it.
And hopefully Medina Valley can get win streak going here this week. They beat Eagle Pass pretty handily down in Eagle Pass. They'll get Laredo Nixon, who was, I think Martin beat them, right? If I remember right.
Martin hadn't won a game yet.
Oh,
yeah.
Well, they played each other, I think, already.
I know they played. I don't know. I get confused.
Was winless.
They were against Cigaroa last week and had a lead, right?
Martin.
Nixon.
No,
Martin. They were against Cigaroa, or were they against Nixon?
No, they were ahead of Cigaroa at one time. Cigaroa came back and beat them 28-24.
20-21.
Just on scores, you would think Cigaroa would be the strongest of the 3 Laredo teams.
And I think that's still
like they will be.
They still are.
Yeah, and but Nixon coming to Panther Stadium and Medina Valley with their homecoming against them, you'll know they'll want to get a big win.
Should be a big crowd.
Southwest game the next week because that'll be a big match.
That's going to be a big one. Mm-hmm.
And so you can tune in on Friday night, 6:40 airtime, 7 o'clock will be first kickoff. We'll be there with camera and everything ready to go. Anything else, guys?
Nope.
Maury's tired.
Well, we're going to wrap it up here. We had a good show. Thank you to the sponsors. Thank you to Sammy's Restaurant for letting us always do these shows here. We really appreciate them letting us do these shows here and broadcast from here. And the sponsors, thank you guys for staying with us through all these seasons and through the years, the 4 or 5 years now that we've been doing this. Without you guys, these broadcasts wouldn't be possible. But for the Medina Valley Broadcast Network, for Jeff Stivers and Maury Stein, I'm Jared Lucky saying good night, God bless, and we will see you Friday night when Panther Sports continues.